Good afternoon, everyone. It's Alison Solvin with Stamp Crazy with Alison, and I am just going to make sure that I am broadcasting okay. And then I will tell you the little bitty problem that I'm having this morning or this afternoon. Let's see. Looks good. Yeah, I don't like that. I can see on the bottom. Hi, Keisha. I'm glad it's good, but you see that? Can you see that strip that's going across the bottom of my live stream? Something about live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is an example. This is not what I want. I've never seen it before. And unfortunately, I can't really get rid of it. So I'm hoping, I don't know, let's see here. I'm going to go over to where we're going to be watching today. Okay, so as long as I stay above it, I'm sorry that thing is in the bottom. I have no idea how to get rid of it. That will be another day, another problem. Can't seem to get rid of it. Oh, well. The scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. Okay, we're just going to try and ignore it for today. Hey, everyone. My name is Alison Solvin, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. So just a suburb of Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver. Anyway, we're just going to go along. This is an example. Sure don't like that. Don't know what it is, Keisha. Anyway, it is what it is. So what are we going to work with today? Well, we're working with the fantastic Regency Park. I'm just going to find it in the catalog while we're waiting for people. It is on page 32 of the mini. And the good news is it is not retiring. Well, some of the products are retiring, but most of them are not. So that's okay. There we go. That's the bundle that we're going to use, or the bundles that we're going to use. So it's just you and me, kid. Oh, Janet is here. Hi, Janet. How are you? We're just saying, Keisha and I, that we can see this live viewer comments show up on your. We don't know why it's there. So we're just going to have to do our very best and ignore it. Although it's hard for me to know, it's driving me nuts. Okay, guys, so let's head over and we'll talk about what we're going to work on today. It is kind of a nuisance because I can see that it's sort of in the way there, but we'll do our best. I'll just keep looking at the screen. Okay, so we're going to be using Regency Park. Whoops, see, I got to go above now. Regency Park, okay. We've got a lot of products that make up this fantastic suite. The Milky Dots have sold out, sadly, but quite a few of the products are carrying forward. I'll talk about the two bundles they're carrying forward, and the textured 12 by 12 shimmer paper is also carrying forward, as is the Cane Weave 3D embossing folder, and the Night and Navy ribbon is carrying forward, but sadly the Regency Park DSP is not. So let's show you the ones that you should pick up before they're gone. Move that. We've got the hi, I like your little hello Janet. So we've got our DSP. Now this comes 48 sheets. You get 4 each of 12 designs, but they're double-sided. So let's just have a real look at this. Let me move all this out of the way. All right. I love this. Look at these. I love that color. That's such sweet sorbet. Aren't these pretty? One of the colors that's included in the DSP is Mango Melody. Mango is one of my favorite colors, but it is actually retiring in the color Refresh. So that's, oh, I've only got a little strip left of this guy. So that's the one side. You got the beautiful flowers, right? And then on the other side, you've just got muted designs that you can use on pretty much any card. Okay. So grab this before it's sold out. May 1st is the deadline. It may sell out before that. So grab that. And everything else is staying. So I told you about the ribbon. So this is Night and Navy ribbon. Let me just have a look here. What's the width of it? It is 1 centimeter, 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so it's got kind of a satin edge and then more of an open weave inside. So I really like that. That's staying. I'm just going to turn my little phone a bit, you guys, and hope nothing goes wonky. And I'm going to raise it up a bit so we can try and negate some of that dead space at the bottom. Okay. So what else have we got? We have the Petal Park bundle. So that's the stamps, and then it's got a coordinating punch, right? So this is on, if you get it now before the catalog switches, even though it's going in the new catalog, it won't be bundled. So you'll want to grab it so you can save that 10 with the bundle. Okay. So that's staying. And then the other bundle is staying. And it's the Sentimental Park. And it's got the coordinating dies. And again, that's staying or carrying forward, but not at the bundle price. So grab it before the price goes up. Okay. Well, the price isn't going up. It's just that you're going to pay for them individually. Because now when you buy them together, they're bundled and you save 10%. Okay. All right. So that's what we're working with. And the reason I'm working with it is because the Petal Park bundle, which is part of the Regency Park collection, is my Border Buddy free PDF tutorial for the month of April. So when you make a purchase from me in Canada or my Border Buddy, Patsy Waggoner in the US, you're going to get by email a 6-project free PDF using the project products in the Regency Park. So what we show you is we give you a sample, like the supply list, right? And then for each card, and let me just show you, that was the card that I had on. We made this card together the other day. So here's the card we made. Whoop. Okay, I changed it a bit, but it's more or less the same card. Hi, Judy. How are ya? You got here. Yay. Okay, so what I did was when I was making this card, I just cut the directions according to what's on the PDF, and then I followed the instructions, and that's what you would do when you got your PDF. Okay, so it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Today, I'm going to use it, but I'm going to be making a card that's not included in the PDF. Okay. I'm glad it's sunny in Alberta. It's not bad here. Actually, it's quite nice here. I just looked outside. It's sunny today. Somebody didn't get the memo that was going to be awful today. Okay, so we've got a piece of balmy blue. Now I've cut it hot dog style, which means that I've cut it 4 1/4 by 11, and then I've scored it at 5 1/2. This would work just as our standard hot hamburger style, which would be 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. But I just wanted to have it this way today. And I also wanted to add some ribbon, and this makes it a little bit easier. Okay. Then I went ahead and cut one of those beautiful pieces of designer series paper. I chose this one because I love mango. And it's just cut to 4 by 5 1/4. So just a 1/4 inch smaller. So we're just going to place that on the front. So let's go ahead and do that. Hope everybody's doing well. Is everybody doing well? I've got some people I can see on my thing and some I can't. Jacqueline, hi. I'm glad you're here. For those of you who have joined late, try and ignore that message at the bottom underneath where I'm working. We can't get rid of it. And I'm not going to worry about it too much because it would have required me starting all over again, and that just didn't sit with me. All right, so that's good. Don't you love the colors in this? Oh, I love that. So we've got shaded spruce, we've got pale papaya, and even the sweet sorbets in there. We've got my mango that's going, balmy blue, and I think, did I say night of navy? So lots of colors in this paper. Grab it before it's gone. Okay. Next step, I have got 2 basic white, and these are cut 3 by 3 3/4. I've got 2 of them, which you will see why in a minute. Okay. So let's stamp these. I'm going to grab some Night of Navy. And I'm going to grab these 2 little flowers from the, is it those 2? Just a sec. Might be lying. Yep, those two. From Sentimental Park. And I'm going to stamp the outline, you know, the outside of a flower. Just stamp it there in Night of Navy. Close this before something goes wrong. You know, it's always, you always stick your stuff in the ink, don't you? Or at least I do. I don't know. I've got Mango, my favorite, that's retiring. And I'm just going to stamp that inside. Now I've got to just turn this till I see where it lines up. Looks about right. I love photopolymer stamps because I can see where I'm going, which is always helpful. So that's just kind of going to be the inside of my card. I'm also, because I'm going to be using the word thanks, I grabbed 2 other stamps. Hi, Ellie. How are you? They are pretty colors, aren't they, Jacqueline? I know. I love them together. So see this stamp here, the word for, and then I'm going to go for all the wonderful things you do. They're 2 different stamps, but what I've done is I've just used my grid paper. I'll bring it in here. I've used a piece of grid paper and I've placed it here on my grid paper. And then I've taken my acrylic block and just picked up my stamps. So I know that they're straight and they're going to stamp right. Okay. So let's ink that up. This is again, Night and Navy. So let's do that. Okay. I love that. I love those. Let me show you the font up close. Isn't that nice? For all the wonderful things you do. Love that. All right. So let me just set that aside for a sec. I'm going to bring in my other piece of basic white. Now on this one, we're going to do a little bit more stamping because it's going to be my outside. You'll see it in a minute. We're going to use Shaded Spruce. And just going to use my Shaded Spruce very often. It's a bit stiff. Now I'm going to use 2 stamps for this, and I'm going to show you them here so you can see. We've got an outline image and we've got an inside image, but I'm only going to use 1 color. So I'm going to start with my outside image. Okay, so the outside lines, I guess you would say. And I'm going to stamp it here. Let's make sure I'm in screen. I am. Okay. There we go. I'm just going to do that. There we go. All right. So it's like a little spray of greenery. Now this one is going to be stamped inside, but I don't want it to be the full strength color because if I do that, you're going to lose all the detail, but I don't want to use 2 colors. Now I could use 2 colors, but I just chose to just use Shaded Spruce. So I'm going to ink it all up and I'm going to stamp it off once because now I've got a lighter version. Okay. And then I just have to line this baby up. That looks pretty good. Just want to kind of turn it till you've got some sort of in the general vicinity. Okay. And there we go. So can you see that we've got 1 color, but 2 shades of the same color, and then it fits inside and adds that detail. All right. I think I'm done with my Shaded Spruce, so I can put it aside. All right. So that's what we need so far. Then I've got a piece of, this is, I know it's a large piece, but it's a scrap. I'm going to use my Night of Navy, and this time we're going to use this stamp. I'm going to use this outline and this inside. This is 1 stamp, these 3 flowers. This is 1 stamp, the 3 flowers. Okay. So this time I'm going to use 2 different colors. So I'm going to use Night and Navy for my outside. And just going to sort of have it in the lower corner here. There we go. Don't you love that? You could just use it like that. You don't even have to put anything inside, but let's do a 2-step because that is Stampin' Up's kind of claim to fame is this 2-step stamping. And we're going to ink this one up in the mango. And then I can just, I'm going to have to just make sure I'm going the right way here. And that looks about right. I think that looks pretty good. There we go. Okay. Now, the beauty of this particular stamp is that the punch punches it out. So it coordinates it and punches it out. So let's have a look. There we go. Line that up. So when I get it lined up, you guys, which it's not right now because I'm a little off, it's pretty good. Oop, no, that's not. Let's see here. That looks, not liking this. I'm a little off, I think. I think it's maybe my eyes, or let me just turn it so I can see a little better. It might not actually be my eyes. It might be, could it be? Let's see. Just go ahead and punch that. There we go. Whew, that took a while, didn't it? But not liking it. So what we're going to do is see if we can figure out what the heck the problem is. This is good when it happens on a live, because this means that I can fix something and show you what I think might be the problem. Okay, so I'm going to pull that off, and I'm going to pull this off. Photopolymer stamps can stretch. Does that make sense? Like, that's the beauty of them. If you have a word and you want to have a curve on the word, you can just curve it right on your block. So that's an advantage. But when you're trying to punch or stamp something, you don't want it like that. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got a punched out piece. Remember, we punched this out a minute ago, but it wasn't lining up properly. So look, I'm just going to put my stamp inside, and I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to take the inside one, and I'm going to put that down inside the little opening, sort of like a stencil. And now this is going to work beautifully. So that's a little tip. If it's driving you nuts because it's not lining up, I think it just got stretched a little bit bigger than the punched image. So now we should be fine. All right, so let's stamp that in the navy. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? I heard it's sunny. I don't know if you're in the south though. Judy's in the south. She says it's sunny where she is, but Alberta is a big province, so I think you're up by Red Deer, aren't you? I'm trying to remember if you're in your Red Deer, or you might be way up in Edmonton. I'm not sure. There's our perfect. See, that was the problem. I think we were just a little off, and now we can go in here, and it's going to line up beautifully and punch out beautifully, and there it is. So actually, see, sometimes when things go wrong, it's good because it gives you little tips how to fix it. So there we are. Those ones are good. Okay, these ones are not so good. All right. So what else do we want to do? Let's start decorating. We can come back and finish it off after we've decorated. All right. So where did we leave off? We left off with our north of Red Deer. Yeah. It's cold. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so we've got the 4 1/4 by 11. We've scored it at 5 1/2. Then we've put our piece of Regency Park DSP, which is cut to 4 by 5 1/2. And then I brought in a piece of mango. Now this one is cut 8 inches by 3 1/4. And I've scored it at 4. So I sort of made a little card within a card. Okay. And now we're going to decorate this. So let's grab those pieces that I just stamped. Here we are. We're going to put this one inside. So for all the wonderful things you do, because we're going to have a thank you. Put that inside. I'm going to really miss mango. Okay, and then this one is going to go on the outside. That's our little greenery that we stamped earlier in the 2 different ink generations of one color, the shaded spruce. Okay, so that's what we've got. And then we've got our little flowers, which we're going to put on. But before I do that, I need a word. Okay, so let's grab a piece of Night of Navy. And this time I'm going to use this word here, thanks. Because inside, remember, we've got for all the wonderful things you do. Okay, so let's grab some Versamark and our embossing buddy. Let's get all that oil that transfers from our sticky and inky fingers and our oil in our skin onto DSP, into our paper. That then sometimes we have stray embossing powder, which we don't want. Okay, let me tap that off. There we go. So I'm just using white because I think the white on the navy looks really striking. Okay. Always put the lid on because it would be so sad, wouldn't it? And we've got our heat tool, so let's heat that up. Yeah, I hear you, Jennifer. I just love the mango. It's one of my favorite colors. It goes with so much. I love it. It's such a pretty color, and it really can be a neutral in a lot of ways. It goes with so many colors. Okay, so that's my words. Now, let's use something that's retiring. You can still get it, I believe. I haven't checked the supply list. Hopefully so. It is the rectangular stitch framelits dies. And I'm just going to, I've got all this magnetic stuff in here. Look at all these. They've come apart, but you get the idea. Look at all the ones you can choose from. Isn't that great? What we're going to do is grab this one. Okay. Now, this one, I couldn't just cut it out with my, emboss, my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and which we are going to do, but I want to show you what I want to do. I don't want it as long as this. Okay, it's too long. All right, so I'm going to move this over so you can see that I've got this side. Hopefully you can see that. This side is close to the start of the word thanks. Okay, and I'm going to tape it down with my removable tape. I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss machine. For those who are joining late, I'm sorry that it's got that banner on the bottom about live viewing comments. We can't get rid of it, so we just went with that. So we're going to cut that out. Okay, now here is a trick. So I showed you the trick with lining up the stamps to match the punch. Here's another trick. I want this to be shorter. So all I'm going to do is take my die, and it's got all these little edges on it, right? And I'm going to line it up in the stitching, and you'll be able to feel when it grabs the stitching. So that's grabbed it for me. And I'm going to tape it in place. And can you see that we're now going to cut off that end? But it's going to look perfect. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. So all we're doing is taking a shape and making it a different shape or a different size. In this case, it's length, but you can actually make a square one into a rectangle and vice versa. There you go. So you can see that I just now recut the stitches. So now we've got a smaller version. Yay. Okay. Let's grab this, move that. So I'm going to put my thanks across the middle here. Just like that. And then I'm going to grab some dimensionals, and we're going to pop up these flowers that we stamped and cut earlier. I think that there. And got our medium size one. Put that one about there. And got that one. This little guy, how about down there? Ooh, maybe a little bit too close. Let's move down a titch. So that's what I've got. Okay, now let me show you how we're going to put this card together. This is got a little corner trick. I've taken a 2.5 by 2, 2 by 2 square. Then I've taken my cutter, which isn't here, my trimmer. And all I've done, you guys, is laid it into the track of the trimmer, and I've cut it. So I've ended up creating 2 triangles, okay? And my triangle is just going to sit here in the corner. I'm going to grab my tear and tape, and on 2 sides, I'm going to, and you see that I'm just going to show you this. I've left my tape longer, okay? And I'm going to take that off. About a year and a half ago, maybe more, my sister Mo came to my team meeting, and she showed us tons and tons of projects using this little, I don't know what you want to call it. I had the name for it in my head earlier, but it's like a little corner tuck-in card. And I just thought it was really cute. And I found a card that she'd sent me way back when using it. I thought, oh, I'm going to do that today because I wanted a sort of a fun fold card. And then I'm doing, so you notice we haven't got any tape on this side, just on the edges, okay? So I find that you do have to use the tape. If you try and use the glue or even the seal, it can want to come off, and you don't want that to happen. Oop. Well, it would help if I glued that down straight. There we go. All right. So now we've got this little, it's almost like a little bookmark corner. And then this is going to slip in. Oh, okay, just slightly like that. So ever so slightly, okay? So let's add some glue. It's pretty simple to make, this card, actually. And I just have to be careful. Oop. Just slide. Come on, slide that in. And then I can press that down. There we go. All right. And then you can just tuck this in too. So we've got double tuck, or you can just do a single tuck. Here we go. And now I want to add some ribbon. So the ribbon that I told you was carrying forward. So the 3/8 inch Night of Navy. I don't know if they call it satin or not. It's got satin edges. And I'm not going to tie a bow because I don't want it to be too fat, I guess. I want it to lay a little bit flat. I'm just going to do a very loose and soft knot. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that gently. Grab those risins. Hi, you. Hi, Diane. I ordered your lighting the way stuff today. So it should be getting that. Okay, so that's just a bit of that ribbon. And now I know these are sold out, but I want to just add a few of these milky dots to the center of my flowers. So let's go with this blue one. Put that one in that one. And let's do kind of a, let me show you, sort of a yellowy one. And then we can just use a third color, this little guy down there. So I've used all three colors. I'm going to just grab, this was the original one that I did. There we go. So well, there we go. So this is the one that I just did earlier today as my little sample. Okay. Aren't those fun? Do yourself a favor and grab the Regency Park stuff when you can get it on sale. Let me show you a couple of other cards. So here's one that I did last week. This is also in the free PDF. So this one and this one were in the free PDF. And I also took some of that designer series paper and made our flap. So that would match. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay. And then I've shown these cards, but let me just remind you in case you've never been. You got your catalog today, Diane? Awesome. I didn't get mine. I sent myself one to see if you guys are going to get one, and I didn't get it. So I'm glad when you guys tell me you got it. So this one's really pretty. This is one of the dies, which is fantastic. Okay. And that was I got in a swap. So I love that one. And here's another one I didn't create myself. I got it in a swap. Just see. So that's got the cane embossing folder. Can you see that? I'll just try and hold it. Okay. That's carrying forward. And then I did make these cards. This one here. Remember I didn't know the name of the fold, but sort of who cares what the name is? It's so cute. Isn't that pretty? So I made those earlier in the month. So go back and check those videos. So here is my card for today. Let me make sure it's centered. There we go. All right. Grab that. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad for a sleep-deprived person. In the last, I don't know, 4 months, it seems that every one of our smoke detectors has started to beep because the battery needs replaced. Unfortunately, all 3 times it happened in the middle of the night. It's like, what? So last night it was midnight and I'm lying there and it's chirping because it makes this chirp sound. And it could be anywhere in the house. It's so loud, which is good if you had a fire. And it was at about 5 o'clock. I couldn't take it anymore. And my husband kind of woke up and I kind of woke him up a little bit more because I can't reach it. So he says, oh, all of us, the smoke alarm. So he goes down and he changes the battery and comes back to bed. And I said, I should have woken you at midnight. He goes, yeah, you should have woken me. So anyway, I don't feel like I've got any sleep. So that's my sad story for today. All right. So anybody else that's on my call that is a customer, Diane got her catalog today, and I heard from 2 other customers, one in Red Deer and one in Abbotsford. So they're getting there. BC and Alberta seem to be arriving. So if you are not a demonstrator and if you don't have a demonstrator of your own, please just reach out. And if you click on my link in all my videos where it says check out my classes and events, and you scroll down, you'll see where you can actually click and enter your information, and I'll send you a catalog. Okay. All right. Any other questions, you guys? Let's see. I love that bundle too, Janet. I know. You're welcome, Judy. Oh, you got your catalog yesterday. Fun. Well, I hope you enjoy looking through it. There's lots of fun things. Remember that Ange McKay and I have our annual, it's our annual catalog launch. But for the first time in 3 years, we're offering it in 2 formats. One, you can come stamp with us, which you're looking forward to on June the 10th in Burnaby. And the other option, if you don't live near us or you can't make the day, is a virtual class. So again, check out my classes. I have a link to save your spot because we can't really advertise the pictures of the projects that we're using until the catalog goes live. So just reserve your spot, okay? Especially for the live one. All right, you guys, I don't see any other questions. We seem to be good. Again, sorry about that banner. Don't know what it is. I'll figure it out before Sunday. So I'll see you guys here again on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, thank you so much for popping in. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day just to spend a little bit of creative time with me. And I will see you guys then. Bye for now. Happy stamping.